Hey guys, just thought I'd give you an update of my Cornwell cart, which is that black one over there. So first of all, let's go over the bay real quick. So I've got my diag cart right here in front. I keep it right there in front because I've got my scope boom up there and I can reach everything under the hood from that position without having to move it. And then my cart, my little stool will usually sit there all day. Sometimes I'll move it out of the way. I've got this little cart that's about to be replaced with a Mac Tools utility cart, similar to that, just taller. Got some little slots and stuff. A few of the guys in the shop have them and I really like them. And then you can add a drawer underneath them as well. So I think I'm going to do that. But that fan usually sits there. Usually I've got it a little meter, but sometimes I pull it out to cool off an engine bay or something, but usually it's just there to cool me off. And I got grip mats up here. And then hockey pucks for depending on the lift I'm using. If I'm using one of the other thicker lifts, mine isn't an issue, but some of them can kind of bind up under lower cars like Flamelys and stuff. So. But got that. And then so primary reason for this video is this Cornwell cart right here. I've done a video on this one probably almost 2 years ago, but I figured I'd do an update on it. So, got most of my daily sockets all right here, plus a handful more. Those lights, honestly, I don't even know why they're still in here. I don't know if I've ever used them. I use this Streamlight Stinger switchblade fairly often, and then Stinger HL, I believe, and then Stinger little pocket light. I use those three because these two are right there and in my shirt pocket. So go over this cart real quick. So I've got 3 pry bars in here, a little bitty one and a couple of medium-sized ones. Long pickup tool. It's got a magnet and a claw. Flexible air chuck. Let's go over this so I can close it up. Small blowgun. Mirror. Excuse the mess, guys. This cart works just fine, but it just isn't the cleanest. So, adapters for fuel injection services, stainless brush, basic stuff in here. It's kind of a throw all spot. A lot of this stuff is not even in here throughout the day. It's usually in that plastic cart. So air chuck, torque wrench. Usually those are not in here. Ratchet cloth's usually my bucket, my oil bucket for when I do oil changes, and then hood prop for the one for shocks. That's usually what I prefer because I always feel like this one's gonna fall on me. DeWalt light I rarely use. Surefire light I rarely use. And then torque sticks. Extensions. I prefer the gear wrench locking extensions like this with the collars. I will say I don't know if this is just the gear wrench ones or if they're all like this. I do have to warranty these fairly often, but it's warranty. I really don't care. I have plenty. So if I am without one for a couple of weeks, it's never a big deal. Swivel ratchet. Hardly ever use that one. Primarily just use regular ratchets. I've got a little stubby ratchet in there. Little extensions, swivels, that kind of stuff there. An upholstery tool, vessel Phillips screwdriver, flood heads, another regular size upholstery tool. This is just a U-scope, single channel scope. I really don't use this one that much because I've got my Pico that's easy to access, so that one usually just stays in my trunk. I just have it out for charging. These lights I got off of Amazon. Don't use them often, but they're nice to just turn them on and throw them under the dash or something. Various Allen bits. And this over here, once again, it does just fine. I don't use this stuff much. And other guys tend to be in this corner a lot, grabbing my pipe and stuff to make a mess. Boots I've never worn. And then under hood light right here, I think it's from Sabre. Yep. This is just a mat to lay down under a car. A handful of 5-gallon buckets. This is my primary wrench drawer for my daily wrenches right there. So I got all these are toolbox widget organizers. I love them. Highly recommend them. So I got ratchet wrenches, regular wrenches. I just bought the larger mountain wrenches. These are actually called Platinum. All the other ones I have are Cornwell, but they're all the same design. I mostly wanted it for this one, and mostly wanted to get 22 for turning crankshafts more than anything. I've never, at least not on Toyotas, which we rarely do brake flushes on anything else. The Vim brake bleeder wrenches, I've never found them handy. I've actually preferred the regular wrenches. So that's just the vehicles I work on. They're probably handy on Euros or something, but not for Toyota for sure. Cobalt wrenches, or carbide wrenches, or drill bits, sorry. Extractor set, love that. Saved a lot of text with those. I've actually never gotten to use it for my own vehicles. I guess it's a good thing though. Lug nut extractor things for swollen strip lug nuts, whatever. Wiper puller, battery puller. Don't use it often, but every once in a while come in handy. Primarily just for, I don't think I've ever used them on a wiper blade. I've used them on a couple of batteries. Sometimes it'll help you. Die grinder with some various wheels. I don't think I've ever used the other die grinder at all. These are adapters for my tap and die set, which is in my other toolbox. I'll do a separate video on that one probably. My gloves, more adapters for EFI services. This is Toyota fuel pump wrench, basically, I guess. Acid brushes, just for anything I want to use them for. Another steel brush there. These, I believe, were from Lyle. They're the same as Lure Cups and a handful of other companies make them. I think Ben has some too. I think Ben's are green, if I remember right. Radiator hose picks. I've got 4 or 5 various lengths and sizes and everything. Little clips for like holding on belts, tightening belts, and other various belts. Serpentine belts. This tool is designed for removing the staked portion on a axle nut socket for Toyotas. Honestly, it's caused me more headache than anything, so now I just use a Dremel and cut little slices in it to weaken it, and then we replace it every time anyway. Because when I've done that one, sometimes I still end up tearing up the CD after taking it off. So I don't even use it anymore. Plumb bob for calibrating various ADAS sensors. 9/16 and 5/8 magnetic spark plug sockets. The only ones I really ever use is for Toyota. Rarely do anything else. Various caps, brushes. Hammer drawer. This impact is usually out there. The bolt rarely gets used. And then 1/4 inch and 3/8. I actually won this one from Humble Mechanic, so if he sees this, thank you, Humble Mechanic. He had it in a giveaway. I believe it was actually before they even came out. I was entered in I won it in the giveaway, so I think I was one of the very first people to get that. So thank you very much. I love that. And then 3/8 Stubby Impact. I have a 1/2 inch Stubby Impact. I just keep it in my trunk now. I don't even. It's honestly not that powerful, and you can use it for lug nuts. But I just I use my air all the time, so on occasion you won't get a lug nut off of it. It's a headlight for load testing circuits, other various little clamps and stuff. This is for belt molding, like for at the bottom of a window. Excuse my loud coworkers. And then a brake caliper compressor for single calipers. CV boot pliers. These are for various push pin pliers. Don't use them often. Probably take them out of here. Panel clip pliers. Use them on occasion. Not my favorite. These are for fuel line disconnection right here. Don't use these very often either. One time I used them, I actually damaged the connector, so I had to replace the damn fuel line, or the hose. Oil filter vice grips, don't know if I've ever used them. Probably take those out of here. Various other vice grips that I use fairly often. Pipe wrench, don't know if I've ever used it. I put it in here for tie rod ends, but I always seem to break them loose. This, for any other Toyota techs out there, this is actually my favorite scraper for the new Tacoma recalls. When there's organic growth and you have to scrape out the LASD. I prefer this over shorter scrapers because your hand's further away from a heat gun, for one, and two, because it's so long. And this is just a brake, or not a brake, a wheel weight tool, scraper. But since it's so long, you can just keep cutting it back. So I mean, I've done 2 Tacomas so far with this, and it started out probably that long maybe. So I haven't used a whole lot of it. Got it on Amazon. That's what I would recommend. We've tried all kinds of scrapers. That's the best one that I found. Hose clamp pliers. This one right here, I believe it's from Lyle. This one is actually made for like disconnecting evap lines, like above a fuel tank or something. I just got them. Haven't used them enough to give them a fair shake, but so far they haven't been successful. So we'll see how that goes. Various hose clamps. Don't use those often, but they're handy to have every once in a while. Knipex channel locks. Another pair of channel locks. Regular needle nose pliers, long nose, angle pliers, dikes. I forget what these are called. I think they're like multi-purpose flip pliers or something. I primarily use them to get behind some clips and pop them loose, like panel clips. Don't use them often. Once again, they are nice. Flush cut pliers. This is what I use for cutting zip ties, so I don't cut for myself later or somebody else has to deal with it. Hose grip pliers. There's a battery carry tool. I don't really care for it. I usually feel like I'm going to drop it anyway. Lang caliper compressor for like Tundra and Tacoma calipers. This is the volume. Sorry guys. Panel tools from Vim. I love this set. Bottom drawer. This one is just kind of where it fit because I'm running out of space. Combustion leak tester, chamber. I've never tried it with single chamber. I don't know if this is really better. I originally bought this respirator for the Tacoma recalls. It does a much better job of keeping fumes out if you have to deal with them. You know what I'm talking about. But it does tend to give you a headache just from the weight and the pressure. So an N90, these are P100 filters. An N95 mask does okay. I prefer this a little bit, but it's by a small margin just because the pressure on my nose and the weight of it, they kind of give you a headache. But at least you're not breathing in crap. And then air hammer. I use this probably more often to get Toyota oil filter housing's loose than anything. Coolant funnel, drill, extra charger, battery cables that I keep in here just for bypassing like a block ground or something if I have a broken ground maybe. Various bungee cords. Oh, this is a jump starter. I personally do not recommend this one. The all-stars ones, because a lot of times it'll shut off before you actually start the car. As soon as you connect it, you have to kind of run into the car and press start, and sometimes you still don't need it. So it's kind of annoying. That's it for that cart. So I'll do another video, just for the sake of keeping this one a reasonable length. I'll do another video for my bigger box. That's it. Thank you.